Sisterhood for change is an amazing concept. I love that we're coming together, putting our energy together with an aim to make something positive come out of places that move our hearts. That is powerful. Change is something that I find very exciting and very interesting too, because change implies that something is transitioning. And most of the times we resist change because it means that it will bring some discomfort in our lives. It means that it will bring some disruptions. And most of the times we don't like that. But at the same time, we have the power to initiate change instead of just reacting to it. I like that we are initiators in this group. We are initiating change in other people's lives. We see their disadvantages and we're like, you know what? We can bring our gifts and our talents together and do something positive in their lives. But this has me thinking as well. As you are waking, as we're coming together to make change in other people's lives, are our lives changed? Are our lives changing intentionally? Sometimes you change because things have happened and you need to catch up. Your child is now a teenager. You just need to catch up. The economy has fallen apart. There's a pandemic. You just need to catch up. That change is reactive and usually we benefit little from it. We survive that change. But there's another way to change, which is when you sit down, you identify areas of need, and you get organized and you make that change happen. That is planned change. That's what we want to be doing in other people's lives, people who we see as disadvantaged or who we see we can add value to. But at the same time, it makes me wonder, are you organized like that for the change in your life? Because you can't go into the world and make things happen for other people when they're not happening for you. You carry the blessing, you carry the change. And if things are going on well for you, you are inspired, motivated, fired up for life, then when you go out to make an impact, when you come together with others, you'll be a blessing, you'll be a positive force. And so today I just want to share a few tips about being the change, working on the change, and being organized about the change that you want to see happen in your personal life. I say change is not easy, and I mean it, because I have gone through a number of changes in my life. First of all, I am a chartered accountant, had been practicing for about 12 years till I saw a need for a change. There were some things in my heart that kept bothering me about what I wanted to be in this world. When I talked to other people, they didn't understand me. And I felt like maybe I'm asking for too much in this world. When I want to leave my good job in this good company and I want to establish something that doesn't exist, I was asking for too much. I was convinced I was asking for too much, but I couldn't shake that off. So what could I do? I had two options. I could either just stay, suck it up, do the work, just put your head down and just go through life. Or I could step up and identify my way to my goal. That required a lot of change. It required that I leave my job. It required that I start setting up a company. It required that I fail over and over. It required that I see my weaknesses and my faults and then step up and seek help, mentorship. Be humble enough to ask questions. Be humble enough to walk into rooms and be quiet. That was one huge change. And I thought, well, that's one big change that has happened in my life. I never have to go through that again. I was wrong. Because as you go through life, you'll be challenged one step to another. As you are going to another elevation, as you're going higher, you'll be challenged again. So I got to a place in my business that I realized I have two businesses running. One has to go. I didn't want to let either one of them go. They were my babies. But change was calling. Change is always calling, and it always calls you when you least expect it, when you are comfortable, when you are catching the groove of things and like, you know what, I can just ignore everything else and just focus. But no, I had to drop one business. It was hard. Nobody understood. Everybody was questioning. But why was I doing this? Because I have a vision for my life. And I know that if I want to make that vision happen, if I want to live a life with no regrets, if I want to make the impact in the world that I believe I'm meant to make, then I will have to make sacrifices. So let me share a few things I have learned about making change and making sure you are being the change that you want. First of all, you have to be honest. What do you want out of your life? Where are you going with your life? What is your purpose? Why are you here? God sees it fit for you to be alive today. But why? Do you know? If you know, that will fire you up and give you the brevity you need to make the changes in your life. When I heard that call in my spirit that I want to build a business, I want to make a change, I want to make a certain impact, I was in my office and I didn't know what to do. I liked getting the pay, I liked what my life looked like at that point, but I knew I couldn't ignore. My heart was not settled. I had to make a change. I had to be honest with myself. I'm not happy. Yes, things look good. I'm not fulfilled. I remember going for interviews and people saying, you're successful. And in my heart, I'm like, I don't think I'm successful, because success to me is not having people clap at you or not ticking boxes that people say, oh, you have a car, you have 6 houses, you have this. No, success is doing what God designed you to do on this earth. And you alone would know when you're successful or not, because you, in your heart, before you sleep, in your quiet time, you'll be able to measure. Did I make the progress I wanted to make in the direction I felt I needed to make it? When people are clapping at you, you can sit down and say, I got 70%, but I had the capacity, if I had prepared well, to get 90%. People are still clapping because for them it's a big deal, but you alone know the truth. So you need to sit down and ask yourself, what is my purpose in this life? Where am I going with this crowd? Am I overwhelmed by what I see more than what's internal to me? Get that compass, that destination clearly. The second thing you have to do is be humble. When you realize that you're not on the path you want to be in, or maybe you're on the path you want to be in, but you need to make some changes in your life, you need to be humble enough to acknowledge that you can't make the change on your own. Most of the times we feel like, I'm independent, I can make things happen. No, we cannot. And this is why I love the fact that we are a sisterhood here. A sisterhood means we are a network. We are here to support each other. We know that not everyone can do everything on their own. We need to come together with our different gifts and talents and be a force. So be humble. Humble enough to acknowledge your flaws, humble enough to learn, humble enough to be mentored, humble enough to ask for help, because we are stronger, more powerful, and we build something beautiful when we come together. But that requires humility. The third thing is you have to take responsibility, right? So you know what you need to do. You're humble to ask help. Now take responsibility. Everyday life will pose challenges. You will have no time. You have too many obligations. You have too many options, but it's up to you. You know what you want out of life. Therefore, you can say yes to everything, because saying yes to one thing is saying no to another. So you might be saying yes because I just want to make her happy, but in actual sense, you're saying no to something that is important to you. So take responsibility for your life. Have a day plan, a month plan, a yearly plan. What are you doing this week in this program? What is your plan? What kind of influence are you going to put in? When people come together, you're in church, you're in a different space. What kind of influence are you intending to make? Take responsibility. Most of the times we like to point fingers about what should change, what should happen. What is your role in this life? When you discover that role, do it with diligence. Most of us, the things that we desire in our lives have a high chance of happening. The big ideas we have a high chance of happening, but they don't, because we quit too soon, because we haven't taken responsibility enough to plan and be consistent and figure out where we're going and how we're going to get there. Take responsibility. You don't see any CEO sitting down and thinking, how company didn't make money, or any leader thinking, my country is going downhill. There has to be somebody to come help us. If they're thinking that way, they're not going to go far. A CEO sits down and says, things are not happening like they should. Now, what must I do? Because I am in charge. I am the visionary. I am the implementer. So I must make things happen. Do that for your life as well. Last of all, be kind to yourself and to others. Change is hard. Change is uncomfortable. But we're here. We're going to make it happen. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to have a perfect plan. It's not going to work. You need to learn to be kind to yourself. Forgive yourself. Give yourself grace and say, okay, you can do it. Ask for somebody else. Somebody's going to disappoint you. Somebody's going to let you down. What do? You give up? No. Be kind to yourself and say, okay, I made a mistake. I'll not do that again. What can I learn from it? Be kind to yourself and to others as well. Extend the same grace that you want others to extend to you. When you see somebody failing, help them. You learn much more when you help others than when you just stay in your corner thinking, no, I don't want to mess myself up. So be kind to yourself and others. Ultimately, we want to make impact in the world. We want to make a change. We have come together with that intention. We cannot bring a change that we ourselves have not experienced. We cannot support people on a journey that we have never been on. So let's be willing to put ourselves on a program for change, to improve ourselves, to be better, so that then when we come together, we are even a more formidable force. When we help others, they are helped beyond just the physical help. They're helped mentally, spiritually. They are blessed by our presence, and we are a joy to be around. Let's be a powerful sisterhood for positive change in this world.